Right, hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Going Great Runs, and we've got Leanne with us. And this episode we're going to start a new series, which is basically going through stories with different people, getting different faces onto the channel. And yeah, we're going to be asking Leanne a bunch of questions to find out how she got into running, advice she'd give other people. So here goes. So Leanne, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll start off with, how did you get into running in the first place?
I got into running because I had like no movement in my life, and I thought, oh God, I think I could do running. And I saw the Chasers on the Cricketers page, because
The local running club,
the Enfield Chasers, my favourite pub in Enfield, posted about them, and I thought I could go there. I could definitely run a 5k. Turns out I couldn't, but
no, it's still going on.
Okay,
yeah.
that's me. Just
the GoPro goes dark when halfway through when you're filming stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, guys, look at the thick mud and puddles and that.
Just a couple of muddy puddles, but yes. So I went and I showed up, and I was welcomed by some lovely people. And there was a woman at the run club who, bless her heart, ran a 50-minute 5k with me in the heat of summer. And that's how I got into running. And then I just saw that the group was really friendly. Everybody was, quite welcoming. And they went for a drink afterwards at the pub, which was fantastic. So yeah, that's how I started.
You're combining like alcohol and running. Your voices. It's a perfect combination.
Honestly.
Yeah, and then would you advise other people joining a run club? Do you find run clubs quite welcoming in general?
I think do what works for you at the end of the day. I would say our run club, Enfield Chasers, is the best. We are very welcoming. I think, do your research, speak to the people within the run club, because all of them have, sort of different ideas as to what they want to do and types of run and paces, but it can be a really nice way to just get you out, because sometimes running on your own just isn't as entertaining. Personally, me, when I run on my own, I just stop because no one's around to keep me accountable. So that's what I find fun.
Joel, actually, you mentioned, it's just coming to my mind now, about women's safety when running. Yeah. Do you feel safer since you've joined a run club, or do you not really feel anything to do with that? Is your opinion neutral on the matter? I
definitely feel safer. I think at the end of the day, winter is my favourite time to run. I think everybody in the run club knows that.
It's darker in the winter, isn't it?
I know, it's darker, it's gloomier, but I don't do well with the summer and the heat. And I think it's helped me feel safer, because we, sort of as a run club, branch out into different groups, and there's, a group chat for people who want to meet up and run. And you have
a women's only chat, don't you, as well?
Yeah, a women's only chat.
I think there's a lot of these popping up, to be honest, like women's run clubs and that sort of stuff for women's safety. And
safety, and just, helping everybody feel supported, and just if something does happen, then letting people know, where it happened. And just keeping everybody vigilant. I think sometimes I can be a little bit stupid when it comes to running and running in darker spaces and things like that. But, one good thing about the run club too, and having these women's chats, is you sort of learn routes that are a bit more well lit, so it helps you feel safer.
Yeah. And have you got any events at all coming up?
I should have events coming up. It is on my 2026 vision board to do
you mentioned about half
marathon.
Yeah,
to do a half marathon. Have I booked it yet? That'll be, we won't answer that question. If anybody has recommendations for easy half marathons, I don't do well with hills. I like flat. If it was a completely downhill half marathon, that would be great.
Oh, let's get around it.
Oh dear, big muddy.
Let's go over a massive mud patch.
Just looking at myself. So yes.
You're enjoying this camera a bit too much now.
I really am. I love the camera.
It's got a runner coming past us now as well.
Yeah.
Morning.
Morning.
That's what I like about it. You in the morning when you go out and about, and you say morning to random people, and just because they're running,
I know,
they're like they have to have a conversation with you, sort of thing, or a little, acknowledgement.
I think it just makes people, you know, a bit more, you know, outgoing. I think beforehand, you know, I've grown up in Enfield and I would always go around. I wouldn't really say morning or hi to people. And now that I'm running, I do, and I sort of sometimes see people on a regular basis when I'm out. You know, there's a local guy at the Cricketers. Oh, what's his name? The old man who always says hi to us.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, I don't know his name, but it's like he's just his old character who's always just like kind of like clapping people, and he looks like so happy to see us come in.
Happy, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just really nice, and I think it's just, you know, coming to a run club has helped build my community. But I hopefully will be. Oh, actually, speaking of races, I think Heidi, my friend from Run Club, has convinced me.
She'll appear in another video later on.
She'll be in another video. Has convinced me to do Bacchus because there's wine involved.
Oh yeah, like tell the people about Bacchus.
Yes, so I haven't done Bacchus personally, but I've heard amazing things about it. So it's going through like a vineyard, there's a 10k or a half marathon, and you get a little bit of wine at certain stops, and everybody dresses up, and it's just like a really fun sort of run. It is a lot of hills, but you can stop and walk if you need to, and there's people encouraging you. Last year, some people from the Enfield Chasers all dressed up as foxes in like gloves and masks and tails, and because that's our mascot, a fox. So, and there's an after party as well, so it just seems quite fun.
Does that involve wine?
Potentially.
More wine.
I have to say, guys, I'm not just driven by alcohol. It is by just the you know, friends that I've made at this time in the Run Club.
Yeah. And the question that I want to ask actually is, would you consider yourself a runner?
Maybe a jogger.
A jogger.
A jogger.
Because certain people, they don't really identify as being a runner. They don't really, because they don't feel competitive with it, and like they're trying to go for speed. So they wouldn't say themselves. They wouldn't see themselves as a runner basically. But
I would say at certain points in my running journey, I have seen myself as a runner. I think, you know, one of the things that I, you know, tend to need more of is discipline and motivation. But I would say to everybody in my life that isn't a runner, I'm a runner. To people within the Run Club, I'm like a dip in and dip out happy jogger. I just bring the vibes.
Yeah. And like, it's interesting because a lot of these events, as you mentioned, Bacchus, involving wine, a lot of these events, they seem to be more about the social aspect rather than the running itself. Yeah,
I think at the end of the day, look, you know, you can train for these things, and, you know, I think it's good too. I think it's good to have a goal. I just think if it's all completely focused on speed and time, then it just sort of zaps the fun out of it, really. You know, everybody's different. I sometimes become a bit competitive. I have to say, at a park run, sometimes I lock in on a person. I'm like, I'm going to hunt you down. And I think that's good, you know, to sort of work off each other in like a friendly, competitive way. And I think, you know, improving your time and speed is great, but trying not to put sort of too much pressure on yourself is also helpful. You know, just enjoying it. You don't want to do something that you find is a chore that you hate at the end of the day.
Yeah. And last question, I think. What's one piece of advice you'd give to anyone who's starting out with running, or one piece of wisdom you'd like to give from your experience of what you've done so far to now?
I think a lot of people say this, but if you are starting out running, just, you know, take on other people's advice, but focus on what feels right for you in your body. Build up slowly, and if you're struggling on a run, just go slower. You know, if you, rather than sort of disheartening yourself or thinking I can't do this, don't focus on speed so much. Just focus on being able to run, you know, well, have good form, being able to breathe, have a conversation, and then build up from there. You know, get the foundations first rather than aiming for, that's what I used to do. I would aim for, I just need to be as fast as possible every single run. And yeah, that never worked out for me.
There you go. and we'll wrap up the video there, but I'm sure Leanne will be back on another episode in the future with more advice, because you always think of things that you want to share after the opportunities come.
It's always after it, and then you're like, oh, I could have said that, I could have said this. But I just think running, at the end of the day, my one final thing is you never regret a run, you know. You always feel great after. I personally find it really hard to get out sometimes, but there's always that sense of accomplishment, and you're always, you know, everyone is helping towards a goal in the future.
Perfect. That's Leanne, and we'll see you guys on another video. Thank you.
Bye.